Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
This morning, a love triangle turned deadly. Up next, why deputies say a 21-year-old shot a man at a Southside home.
And this morning, we got a Southside mom warning parents after her teen landed in the hospital from a gummy. What she wants every parent to know.
We pulled 3 people out of the water, did a casualty transport, and pulled 36 girls out of Mystic that day.
And all morning long, we are sharing exclusive stories from the very first flight crew on the ground during the Hill Country floods, plus a first-hand look at their specialized training.
And good morning, and thanks so much for waking up with us on this hump day. We're starting the day off with a lot to get to.
We are getting there, and boy, I mean, yesterday morning was so nice. See, I don't know if we can top that this morning, but we're going to try.
Yeah, 70 degrees outside. I'm not mad about it, Justin.
It still feels okay, but we're not going to get as low as we did yesterday. I'll just start off with that. Yesterday down to 65. We'll have a hard time getting there today, but I do think some upper 60s will be possible. Still feels, as I said, really good outside. One thing we do need to mention is that today is an ozone action day. What does that mean? We see these from time to time. Basically, the air is a little stagnant, so we're going to see some elevated afternoon ozone levels, elevated ozone levels. So those with respiratory illnesses, you want to use caution. I looked at the latest air quality, and as of right now, we're fine, but that number could go up again during the afternoon. We see this from time to time after a weak front comes through. At any rate, I just want to let you know about that. Today is an ozone action day. As we go outside for you, clear skies, 69 now at the airport, so we are below 70, 66 New Braunfels, 68 Converse, down to 61 in Bernie. So yes, another nice morning. And forecast for today, 86 noontime, 91 at 2 o'clock. 94 will be your high. So it does turn into a pretty warm day. And when I tell you we have a very steady forecast, believe me, because the temperatures are going to be right about what you see there each and every day going forward. Some things to talk about, though, including some allergens as well. We'll get to all of that coming up in just a couple minutes. Ernie?
Sir, thank you. New this morning, San Antonio police are investigating a road rage shooting from last night on the I-10 access road near Culebra. A man in his 30s was shot, but is recovering in a hospital. Officials say the driver pulled over to call for help after the incident. Detectives are now looking into exactly what led up to that shooting.
And this morning, we got one man dead and another charged with his murder. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office says that it was because of some type of love triangle. Suspect, 21-year-old Mason Rodriguez. Sheriff's deputies say that he shot Enrique Perales Monday night at a home on Calle Fincias, that is south of U.S. Highway 90. When they arrived, they found the 29-year-old with multiple gunshot wounds to the chest. Investigators say that the victim had been shot at least a dozen times. Investigators say that the two were romantically involved with the same woman, and they also think that the suspect was with other people at the scene of the crime. So they're asking anyone with any information about this case to call the Bexar County Sheriff's Office.
All right, from the classroom to the pediatric ICU, a Southside High School mother is warning other parents about drug-laced edibles after her 16-year-old was taken to a hospital after taking what he thought was a THC gummy. Cassie Balderas told us that her 16-year-old son, Aiden, and another student went to their cars during lunch last Tuesday. That's where she says Aiden was offered the THC gummy, adding that soon after he started throwing up and even went unconscious before being taken to a hospital.
I can tell you every emotion possible fled through my heart and my mind.
Seeing your son unconscious in a hospital bed, what are you doing right there? Are you talking to him? Are you saying anything to him?
I was crying. And begging him to wake up. I shook him, I kissed him, I hugged him.
So Aiden spent 25 hours at the hospital. He's doing much better now. But according to the hospital documents, the diagnosis was cannabis abuse and other psychoactive substance abuse. We've been in contact with Southside ISD. They told us that a field test was performed on the gummy and that only THC was found, but that they sent it to a lab for further testing.
The Northeast ISD community gathered last night to remember Timothy Kitterman, the MacArthur High School teacher who died last week on campus after a medical emergency. The Grace Point Church, full of family, friends, and students to honor him. Kitterman leaving a legacy at the high school after he helped start the American Sign Language courses nearly 18 years ago.
Just his spirit and the way he cared so much about our program and his students. Honestly, ASL was a place for everybody, and it's just going to be really hard to find somebody else to fill those really big shoes.
Kitterman was an educator for more than 20 years, and he was awarded Teacher of the Year in 2019.
Bexar County Commissioners unanimously approved the county's budget for the next fiscal year. The property tax rate will stay the same, but there will be some changes. The total countywide budget is $2.8 billion. The amount is roughly the same as last year, but this time around, the budget includes $21 million for a new flood warning system. It also calls for dozens of law enforcement officers for the sheriff's office and constables. County leaders also signed off on a 3% cost of living adjustment for county employees. Still, county leaders said they need to look at ways to curb spending.
We will have more expenses than revenues coming in, and that fund balance will be depleted if we don't make significant changes as a court.
This court is committed to manage our debt load and try to not issue new debt. So this requires us to look through the lens of the reallocation of funds for existing projects on the books, and we will have that robust discussion throughout this coming budget year.
So in the midst of federal cuts to nonprofits, the county has set aside $1 million for countywide initiatives to address food insecurity and health care access.
This morning, neighbors are still trying to process the idea that a suspected human smuggler was living among them. 26-year-old Diana Salazar is accused of operating a stash house in the middle of an East Side neighborhood. It's on Hayes Street near Walters. Bexar County Sheriff's investigators say that they saw Salazar pick up several migrants from a truck stop near I-35 and Fisher Road and then bring them home to her home. Salazar was arrested Saturday night when investigators raided her home, and some neighbors say they had no idea.
If she was doing it, she was very good at it, like, because she never stood out or whatever.
I kind of had a feeling, because I'd been watching. Those people were outside all night on the porch.
The deputies also arrested 27-year-old Cassandra Sears, both women facing smuggling charges. And get this, they also arrested this guy right here, 48-year-old Victorino Gonzalez Ramirez, who they say tried to run from them. San Antonio Tejana artist Ram Herrera has revealed that he has stage 4 prostate cancer. The Grammy-nominated artist shared the news in a Facebook video. Herrera described his diagnosis as, quote, scary but treatable. He went on to say that he will not need chemotherapy but will be undergoing radiation. He urged men over the age of 40 to get screened, and he thanked fans for their support.
Yes, a Tejano legend right there, straight from the Victoria courts. Our prayers are with Ram Herrera. Here's a look at some of your morning headlines at 5:07. The Federal Aviation Administration warning airlines again about the risk of lithium batteries on board planes. In a new safety alert, the FAA said the batteries could malfunction and start a fire. Lithium batteries can be found in several things like cell phones, laptops, e-cigarettes, and hearing aids as well. The agency says that it has tracked 50 verified battery-related incidents through August. The safety alert is aimed at encouraging airlines to consider the hazard posed by lithium batteries that are stowed away in areas that are not easily accessible, like overhead bins and carry-on bags. Well, new this morning, whistleblower claims are raising questions about Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram. 2 former employees testified before a Senate committee saying that kids are being exploited on the company's virtual reality platforms. They accuse Meta of ignoring research and downplaying risk to protect profits. Meta, though, firing back, calling the allegations nonsense and based on cherry-picked internal documents. And overseas this morning, this conflict continues here. Israel carrying out an airstrike in Qatar, targeting Hamas leaders as they weighed a U.S. ceasefire proposal. The strike hit Qatar's capital, and officials there are condemning it as a violation of international law. Hamas says that its top leader survived, but 5 members were killed, including the son of Hamas's leader in Gaza. The White House is calling this an attack, an unfortunate incident that could complicate peace talks and hostage negotiations. All right, let's switch gears here to some traffic at 5:09, and things looking pretty good in many parts of the city despite some overnight construction. And I know that's been a big pain in the neck for a lot of folks over the past couple of days. 410 and Harry Wurzbach, no major issues there for our folks on the north side of town. One more quick check over there by the San Antonio International Airport, 281 and 410. If you're headed out to the airport, no major issues right now for our folks on 281. 1604, a bit of a mess right here. This is going to be our traffic going eastbound from Northwest Military all the way up to Blanco Road. Still ongoing construction taking place here along that one stretch, and a little bit further on the north side of town, far north side of town. This is going to be our eastbound or westbound traffic, 1604 headed towards 281. You see right there, basically affecting all of our traffic around Gold Canyon and Redland Road. So keep that one in mind if you're headed out northeast side of town. Seeing a little bit of delays as we deal with construction 35 northbound at Topper Wine, but everything else across the city is looking pretty good. 281 at Basse had some overnight construction, which I know kind of held up some folks overnight, but things are looking pretty good on that stretch of 281. Let's check in with Alex to see how things are looking in Drive Cam on this Wednesday hump day. What's up, Alex?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. Right now I'm starting off the drive on the south side. I'm at 410 West, right at Roosevelt, and right now drivers are on their best behavior because I'm not tracking any incidents. Welcome back, RJ.
All right, thank you very much for that update. Alex Gomez in Drive Cam. Justin.
Thank you, sir. We'll go outside with Live Cam. What a beautiful morning it is. Another clear morning. Average temperatures start to drop this time of year, and in theory, we should start to see temperatures come down. Is that the case, though? We'll look at the extended forecast for you coming up.
All right, coming up, new Apple products are here, including AirPods that can actually track your heart health, plus Xbox in your car. We're going to show you the new way drivers could soon be gaming on the go.
And the San Antonio Spurs have always had that baseline bums. Up next, why Victor Wembanyama wants to launch a whole new fan group.
514, welcome back to Good Morning San Antonio. We have got a crosstown showdown, y'all, this Saturday at the Dome as UTSA hosts UIW. Battle the Birds, the second time these programs have met on the football field in their histories. The last time they played was back in 2019 when a guy named Frank Harris was leading the UTSA program. Since then, UIW, though, has gotten pretty good. The program has won 3 conference championships and become a top team in their conference and division. Josh McCown, of course, now the quarterback for the Runners, and they want to get a win on the board after a tough loss to Texas State. The Roadrunners also led by the country's leading rusher, Robert Henry Jr. And last night at the Pearl, UTSA UIW held a joint pep rally. Check this out. To hype up the game, hundreds of fans and alums from both schools and the mascots too showed up and showed their school spirit. The Runners are looking for their first win of the 2025 season, while UIW is 1-1 coming off of a bye week. And again, kickoff is Saturday, 2:30 at the Alamo Dome. If you cannot make it, it will be streamed live on ESPN+. Okay, a lot of conversation about this. With the season right around the corner, Spurs star, you see him right there, Victor Wembanyama, announced a new fan group led by some of the rowdiest and loudest fans in silver and black. It will be called Los Ultras and follows the model of fan groups in Europe. But here's the deal. We checked with the Spurs, and it will not be replacing the baseline bums. The bums are staying. They're not going anywhere. Los Ultras will be a membership group with an annual fee of $1,000. But here's kind of the gist of it. You get access to all the home games and additional perks. But you have to try out also. Those tryouts will take place this Sunday at the Frostbank Center. Here's Victor with more.
It's a project that I've had for a long time, an idea. It's been an idea and now it's a project. And I'm very excited for it to just be more than something up there in the head, something real. If this group of ultras reaches its full potential, I have no doubt that it's going to help us win games in the future for sure.
Okay, so I looked online. It looks like it's a group of 70 people. That's why they're having tryouts.
Well,
they will have a designated section.
I think I could be an ultra.
I think you could, Jeff.
Do other
basketball
squads have?
The Clippers started this. They have a thing called the Wall. Yeah, where it's a standing-only fan section, basically.
Gotcha. See, that's cool. Yeah. Okay, well, hey, let's go. Go Spurs.
Now we need the Silver Dancers back.
Right.
Oh, man, now you're starting up a whole
other conversation.
Whoa, okay.
Never mind.
Yes, the Silver Dancers. Yeah, do miss the Silver Dancers. But one other thing again, the baseline bums. The bums will still be in section 101, and they are under a legacy ticket system. So all the bums, don't worry, we still got y'all. This is a big part of the Spurs history there. Traffic is actually looking pretty good across the city right now. We wanted to check in on the northeast side of town. Looks like things are clearing out over here on 35 North right here at Topper Wine as you head up to Live Oak and 1604. And another quick shot here. This just popped up on the map, so I'll check on that in just a little bit. But ongoing construction along 1604 over by 281, basically Northwest Military all the way to Blanco, all the way to Redland Road and Gold Canyon. All right, so let's check in with Justin Horn now for a check of your weather. And he is one of the rowdiest and loudest fans. A&M fan. An Ultra. He's Ultra.
Some days it depends. But yes, excited for the Spurs, and I think that really is a great idea. All right, ozone action day today. Those counties in yellow, basically the metro area. What does this mean? What does it mean when we have an ozone action day? We have them from time to time, but basically there could be some elevated afternoon ozone in the atmosphere. So those with respiratory illnesses can sometimes feel this. It can sometimes affect you if you have like asthma or something like that. And a lot of times we get these after a weak front passes by and we just get some stagnant air, and that's sort of what we're dealing with now. So that's why it's been issued. But you look at the air quality, and this map takes from our sensors that we have around the area, and so far it does not show any real issues with air quality. If that changes, obviously we will let you know. Let's go outside. It is nice. 69 degrees at the airport, 66 in New Braunfels, 68 Converse, 61 Bernie. We may fall into the 50s there again this morning. And if you're heading out to the bus stop, yes, we start right around 70 or so, and then we will end up in the low to mid 90s for highs. So if you're going to the bus stop, it's kind of early for that yet, but for those who are, it'll be a little chilly this morning, I suppose, but 93 this afternoon, sunny and hot. Speaking of temperatures, let's look at the average temperature. So this is the full year here, and we peak obviously in August with our temperatures with an average high of 97 here in San Antonio. But we are now on the downslide, and usually once we hit that downslide, it happens pretty quickly. We start to see fronts and cooler temperatures. I will tell you, that is not the case. We are still going to be above average, at least for the time being, because we have our heat high in place. And what I've done here, these red colors represent where we are expecting 90 or above as far as the temperature is concerned. So really all this week, even going into the weekend, because of this heat high, there's going to be a heat dome over a large portion of the country, and that includes us. So that means we'll continue to see 90 plus and above average temperatures all the way through the end of the week and going into next week as well, I'm sorry to say. So just, high temperatures, mid 90s, low temperatures, low 70s. It's not bad. We can deal with it. Just not ideal, I suppose, as we get a little bit closer to officially going into fall. No rain either. These are rain-free conditions, maybe a few more clouds by Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. But sunny today. All right, our Just Ask Justin question this morning. Today is the peak of hurricane season, which we'll discuss a little bit more tomorrow. Or next half hour, not tomorrow, next half hour. So my question to you is, what's the record for the number of active hurricanes at one time, one moment in time in the Atlantic? Is it 3, 4, 5, or 6? This has happened before. How many hurricanes all at once in the Atlantic? That was it was during a busy year, I'll tell you that. So far we have a vote for 3. You can vote, KSAT.com/poll, scan the QR code, and that answer comes your way in an hour and a half.
All right, we're looking at 521 right now, 69 degrees outside.
All right, more to come here, including this. Apple unveiling AirPods that can monitor your heart, and a new iPhone. And Xbox teams up with LG to bring gaming to your car when we come back.
In today's Tech Bites, the buzziest products from Apple's big event. New models of Apple Watches and iPhones were announced, including the new iPhone Air, the thinnest iPhone ever. The AirPod Pro 3 was also unveiled, featuring heart rate monitoring and live translation abilities. Microsoft reportedly plans to turn to AI startup Anthropic to power some of its Office 365 Copilot features. The potential move is seen as a sign of a growing split with OpenAI, currently used by Microsoft for AI features in Word, Excel, Outlook, and PowerPoint. Finally, LG and Xbox are teaming up to make road trips more fun. LG's entertainment system will soon come integrated with an Xbox app for select internet-connected vehicles. Users will need the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription. Only passengers will be able to play. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
All right, well, how would you like to try food from 20 top restaurants across Texas. These meals are prepared by Michelin and James Beard award-winning chefs. We're talking about the second annual Texas Eats Food Festival.
A QR code on your screen that you see there. Yeah, get up and scan it, because get this, the event happening September the 20th at the Boeing Techport Center. A portion of those proceeds will benefit the community foundation of the Texas Hill Country.
Beautiful. All right, 5:25 right now, 69 degrees outside.
Up next, we're taking you straight inside the cockpit. Only on KSAT, you're going to hear from the very first flight crew that responded in Kerr County on July 4th.
Plus, a camera in a jewelry store caught a violent robbery as it happened. Were police able to catch the suspects? We'll get you caught up on that up next.
Coming up at 5:30 on this hump day.
Everybody's back here, and I was commenting yesterday. You had a pretty good stretch the last few days with your
I
sports
did,
team
yes.
and everything.
Yeah, so I was not in because, of course, I had to watch the Vikings win on KSAT 12, by the way. So,
thank you for that.
Station.
Hey, it's cool, man. Hey,
Yeah,
we've been
late
winning in the weather category, too.
Yeah. Very true, very true.
Did you watch the whole game, by the way?
Of course I did.
Because if you turned it off early.
I did.
And you showed up tomorrow morning?
Oh, wow.
Or yesterday morning?
I did.
She was here.
Wow.
She was here.
I don't party as hard as you are, Jay.
Ooh. All right. Outside, we've got clear skies this morning. It is at 69 degrees here in San Antonio, 66 in New Braunfels, 68 Converse, 61 Bernie, 72 right now in Stinson. We got light winds. Pretty good setup for some cool temperatures. Again, it just won't be as cool as yesterday morning, but these are the kind of numbers that still feel really good. Sunrise will be at 7:16, sunset 7:45, total sunlight 12 hours 29 minutes. So yes, like yesterday, in the sense that we'll see a cool morning, hot afternoon. 94 is where we end up for a high today with sunny conditions. And coming up, we are going to talk tropics because today is the peak of hurricane season. Is anything brewing out there? And we'll have an update on your allergens too. But now let's toss it over to Ernie.
Thank you very much. All right, our commitment to tell the stories of the Hill Country flood victims, survivors, and helpers continues.
Yeah, this morning we have that exclusive stories of the very first flight crew that arrived in Kerr County on July 4th. And our Patty Santos went back to Austin to see their training and learn more about why these rescues are very different for them.
Hey there, good morning. Well, a few weeks ago, we told you the stories about the Texas DPS Air Rescue Crews. Well, this morning, I want to introduce you to the Texas Game Warden Rescue Team that was the very first in Kerr County that morning. This is Jacob Crumpton, Robert Mitchell, and Brent Biggs. All of them have very unique stories about how that day impacted them personally. I was invited to see their training last week. Bottom line, they say training and strong communication with trust help them perform the rescue of people on trees and the girls at Camp Mystic. Mitchell has been in countless missions around the world. He's the pilot, but says as a dad, helping bring the campers to safety is something he's never going to forget. Now, the 4th of July rescues were the very first real-life rescues for Crumpton, who's new to the swimmer rescue team. And for Biggs, this was extremely personal. He lives in Kerrville and had worked at the Camp Mystic when he was young. He says it was an entire team effort to conduct these rescues.
We pulled 3 people out of the water, did a casualty transport, and pulled 36 girls out of Mystic that day in this helicopter. But there were rescues going on all around us. The work that was being done, the danger that was involved. I'm sure in the air it was bad. I'm sure it was at least as bad on the ground. Everybody showed up. They pulled together and they really showed up.
There were over 14 air teams as part of that operation that day. These are just some of the stories, and we're so grateful to be able to share them with you. This entire morning, we're going to be telling you more about their experience coming up at 6 a.m., at 9 a.m., and at noon, and you can read their stories right now on KSAT.com. Daphne?
All right, thank you so much, Patty. We got a budget now adopted in one Hill Country city, but one big question regarding the property taxes still remains. Since the July 4th floods, we've been following the city of Kerrville's discussion on possibly raising their property tax rate. Well, in a normal year, most taxing districts in Texas calculate their voter approval rate using a 3.5% revenue growth rate. But in the tax year immediately following a disaster, districts can calculate the voter approval rate with an 8% growth growth rate. That second option is what the city of Kerrville has been exploring over the last 2 months. And city leaders say that if they choose that 8% rate, it could bring in nearly $337,000 additional dollars. There were mixed reactions during the discussion, of course.
I think we're rushing. I think that we're rushing into this 8%.
I respectfully ask that you do what needs to be done for us to continue the quality of life and maintain the services that we need for the city that we love.
Raising property taxes of any kind may fill a budget line today, but it risks driving away the very families and businesses that keep Kerrville alive tomorrow.
Now that that budget has been approved, we expect Kerrville city leaders to make a decision on that tax rate at its next meeting in 2 weeks. And there could also be an exemption for property owners affected by the flood. We have that information available right now at KSAT.com.
A new report is shedding some new light on the Wren Collective. That's a criminal justice group based out of Austin and has close ties to the Bexar County District Attorney Joe Gonzalez. So back in January of 2024, KSAT revealed that the group worked with Gonzalez, influencing cases and policies right after he took office. Well, this new report, released by a Virginia-based nonprofit law enforcement group, shows that the Wren Collective has also been working with more than 40 prosecutors across the country, including 5 in Texas. It also revealed Gonzalez used 4 personal email accounts for official business and not his county account. We reached out to the Wren Collective and the DA's office for comment. Now, Jessica Brand from Wren said in part, quote, "It is strange that when there are major mental health challenges in law enforcement and a recruitment crisis, this organization wants to focus on Wren," end quote. As for Gonzalez, he declined to comment on this report.
All right, 5:34, let's give you a look here at some of your morning headlines. It's some pretty crazy video here. Take a look at this. A camera in a jewelry store in California caught a violent robbery again as it happened. So this all happened in San Jose a couple of days ago. Thieves smashed the front, you see it right there, window of the store using an SUV. So they ran inside and broke cases using hammers. At least one of those thieves was armed. Now, the man that was at the bottom of the screen right there that you see is the store's owners, at least one of them. He's 88 years old and he suffered a stroke after one of the thieves pushed him to the ground. You could see that terrifying situation right there. The man was released from the hospital though and is recovering at home. So far, police have not made any arrests. A lot of investigating going on there. All right, check this out. New video shows the scary moments that a boat exploded in Michigan. The local sheriff's office says the boat was getting fuel at a gas dock. You can see that at the top of your screen right there, not far from Detroit. As it pulled away, it exploded. 2 people and a dog were on board. The boat and the people were thrown into the water, and those individuals suffered minor injuries. Unfortunately, the dog died from its injuries. Foul play, though, is not suspected, and this investigation is ongoing. All right, an interesting study here. The death rate in the U.S. last year dropped back to pre-pandemic levels. According to the new Centers for Disease Control and Prevention report, there were nearly 3.1 million deaths overall in 2024. Heart disease and cancer accounted for more than 40% of them. Drug overdoses and other unintentional injuries were the 3rd leading cause of death. There were still tens of thousands of COVID-19 deaths, though, reported by the CDC, but overall it fell out of the top 10 leading causes of death for the first time since the pandemic started. All right, switching gears here to give you an update on your traffic situation and taking you outside some of our TransGuide traffic cameras. Things looking pretty good over here, north side. Good morning to all of our folks here making their way to or from the airport. Another shot there at some of our cameras along 281. And another one there, 281 St. Mary's. All right, north of the KSAT 12 station right here in downtown San Antonio. And good morning to all of our folks on the southeast sides of town. All right, so we got a little bit of update here. This is going to be 1604 over by Judson High School, FM 3502. There is reports of a crash over by Thornton Lane, and that's going to be right there at Lower Seguin, where Thornton Lane kind of meets along 1604. So that's going to be pretty far away from Judson High School, but just a point of reference there for all of our folks in that side of town over in the Converse area. And quick check here at our situation 1604, still ongoing construction basically from parts of Chavano Park all the way to Blanco, even stretching a little bit to 281. That's a shot there at Hebner Road, and ongoing construction right here westbound 1604 over by Redland Road and Gold Canyon. So we'll keep an eye on that situation there. Keeping an eye on the ground would be the one and only Alex Gomez for us in Drive Cam. Alex, what is the latest on the ground?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. So the highways are pretty normal over here by the quarry. I'm at 281 North by the airport, and I'm seeing that construction is free and clear over there on the northeast side. So I'm going to see if construction is clear on the north near 1604 Military Stone Oak Parkway area. So I'll let you know what I find out, RJ.
Okay, thank you very much, Alex, as he makes his way through the north part of the San Antonio area. Justin?
Thank you, sir. We go outside with live cam. It is 5:37 and in the upper 60s here in San Antonio. We may drop a degree or two more before it's all said and done. I want to take a look at the allergen calendar coming up. What can we expect for fall? What allergens are high right now? We'll take a look coming up.
5:38 right now, calling all cookie lovers. Check this out, Girl Scouts rolling out a brand new flavor, and we'll show you what's inside the Explore More's and when you can get your hands on a box.
All right, San Antonio startup scene is booming, and soon some of the brightest entrepreneurs will get together and have their big shot at investment money. We're going to take you inside Startup Day coming up.
Well, I started my drive on the south side and drivers are up to speed over there. So now I'm on my way to the far north side and I'll give you more traffic updates as they come in on GMSA.
5:44 right now. Happening today, we got entrepreneurs around San Antonio getting ready for that San Antonio Startup Day as they prepare for the 10th annual San Antonio Startup Week.
So today's event will allow startup founders to pitch their ideas to each other, all while showing off their hard work.
Our very own Devin Karp following this story all day long, and of course he's starting this morning with us live outside of Geekdom with a preview of what the day has in store. Good morning, Devin.
Hey, good morning, guys. So there's been a group of 12 startups that have been working over the last 12 weeks in Geekdom's incubator program. They are going to be meeting with the business community today to share their goals of becoming viable and successful here in San Antonio. And it's all part of San Antonio Startup Day, where they'll be sharing this with the business community, working to create more of the desirable businesses and economic outcomes that we want to see here in San Antonio. So this is all coming up part as San Antonio Startup Day. It's when this kicks off with 1 million cups. That's over going to be at the Launch SA at the Central Library downtown, where entrepreneurs come together to pitch their ideas to each other and some of their business plans. This allows them to fine-tune what they're eventually going to say to some investors, while also learning about the newest technology, like how AI can integrate into their work. The events are later going to move on to Geekdom over here with small sessions with banks and other entrepreneurs before finally releasing the full schedule and lineup for San Antonio Startup Week. That's going to include featuring all of the speakers, workshops, and pitching contests where startups can compete for new investment.
It's a microcosm of what the day will be like, and you can experience the different workshops and also see some of the startups firsthand, so that you know what to expect from the meet. So come out for September 10th. We'll be releasing the schedule then as well, and you can get all prepared for San Antonio Startup.
Startup Day itself is free to attend. Organizers recommend that you register online ahead of time, but you can also just show up to the first floor of the Central Library starting at 9 a.m. We're going to be there live this morning here at GMSA at 9, speaking with some of those entrepreneurs, asking them about their ideas and trying to find out what it's going to take to become a sustainable, viable part of the San Antonio business community. For now, we'll send it back to y'all. Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
All righty, thank you, Devin. Girl Scout cookie lovers, this one is for you because there will soon be a new flavor to enjoy. Feast your eyes on the Explore More's. It's a new chocolate cookie with a creamy filling and notes of chocolate marshmallow and toasted almond flavored cream. Or is it creme? Like the Girl Scouts' other cookies, they will be sold online and in person by local troops. The sales start in January.
Okay, there you go. Cracker Barrel, get this, they're suspending its restaurant renovations. It's a new social media post. We got the Southern-themed restaurant chain saying that the rocking chair on the porch, fireplaces, and gift shops will not be removed from any more restaurants. Great news right there. The minimalist renovation was only tested at 4 of its 660 locations. Cracker Barrel's canceled remodel comes after the company's new logo, which removed Uncle Herschel, he's an old timer. That figure and the barrel was met with so much backlash.
All right. I will say, I always like playing the giant checkers on the little carpet.
I like sitting on the rocking chair.
The little game with the triangle and the little peg.
That too.
I
Rocking
could
chair
never beat
was
my
chill.
wife
It
in
was
that.
very comfortable.
My wife's much more smarter. Smarter, is that the way to say it? Okay. More intelligent than I am, obviously. 281 right here at the airport. Traffic is looking good there. 90 at 1604, far west side of town. Good morning to all of our folks there. Another shot there for all of our folks making their way north of downtown over by the Pearl, the beautiful Pearl, where we had that pep rally yesterday. Here's a check of the southern part of downtown. This is going to be our traffic going into downtown from Alamo Street. Still dealing with ongoing construction. Not too bad, though, if you're stepping outside right now. And another quick check at the situation over here. 1604 over by Lower Seguin Road and Thornton Road have reports of a crash out here. Still trying to gather more information. And right now, KSAT is not reporting anything on its website. I checked with the San Antonio Fire Department, so I'll check in with the folks in Converse to see if we get more updates on what's going on here, specifically around the Judson High School area. All right, let's go to Alex right now and see if we get an update on the roads in Drive Cam on this Wednesday morning. Alex, what's up?
Yeah, watch out for the construction over here on the far north side, RJ. 1604 eastbound right near Blanco is still going to be shut down because of construction. The westbound lanes, however, those are going to remain open.
All right, thank you very much, Alex, for us in Drive Cam this morning. Justin, how are we looking outside?
Well, it's quiet, and I'm going to start with the allergens. I've seen a lot of people that have been struggling with allergies lately, and this is the latest pollen count. Molds are high, and molds are likely the main culprit, but I will point out that we have fall elm and ragweed also in the pollen count. You look at the allergen calendar here, we are right smack in the middle of ragweed and fall elm season, so it stands to reason that we would see both of those. They tend to peak right in the middle of September, and that's where we are. So if fall elm and ragweed are your bugaboos when it comes to allergens, then heads up, we are there. Of course, the next allergen in line will be, I don't even want to say it, you know what it is, cedar. We have time. I shouldn't even bring it up. All right, temperatures, 69 degrees right now in San Antonio, 61 Kerrville, 68 Hondo, 67 in Uvalde, 67 in Gonzales. It's another cool morning, not as cool as yesterday, but nice nonetheless. 82 at 11 o'clock, 86 noontime. We make our way up to 94 this afternoon, and it is sunny. I mean, sunny across the board. We're hardly going to see any cloud cover. Daytime highs, the average, by the way, is 92, so we'll be right at about average today, but we do rise 3 or 4 degrees above average as we get into the weekend. Temperatures pretty consistent there around 95, 96 as we get into the weekend. So hot, but yes, above average. And even beyond that, looks like it is going to be hot. This is the temperature outlook for September 16th through September 20th. So mid-September, and not only us, but much of the country is going to be above average. And a lot of it has to do with that ridge of high pressure we've been showing you. So the extended forecast here, again, 95, rain-free. We may get a bit more cloud cover by the weekend and going into next week, but fairly unremarkable. Very quickly, peak of hurricane season is today, and there is nothing out there still. Pretty amazing. Again, this is actually rare for it to be this time of year and have nothing, not even a wave that has been flagged by the Hurricane Center. So if that changes, we'll let you know. Speaking of which, because it is peak of hurricane season, that is the topic of my Just Ask Justin question today. What's the record for the number of active hurricanes at one time in the Atlantic? So simultaneously, what is the maximum number of hurricanes we've ever seen in the Atlantic? Is it 3, 4, 5, or 6? Go to ksat.com/poll, scan the QR code. We got votes for all of them. So weigh in, let us know what you think.
Okay. 5:52 right now, 69 degrees outside.
A Chilling Classic gets a fresh spin in San Antonio. We're going to take you inside the Wonder Theater's dark but surprisingly funny production of Sweeney Todd. Up next.
Your typical Sweeney Todd musical is set in 1800s. So instead of your typical London, streets of London type of setting of the show, we set it in a circus. You could say it is still set in London, but it's in almost like a dark, macabre circus.
The version that we're doing,
It dives deeper into concepts that we don't really see acknowledged as much in the other productions, so really finding who we want our characters to be in this world that we're building rather than what everyone else has done.
This is a phenomenal cast of performers, some of the best in San Antonio. Working with this group of people can really allows us to really bring out the artistry that is in this production.
There is a creepiness to the show, but there's also a lot of really joyful comedy to it, and I think that's something that our director has really played into and picked up on, is that, you know, in ordinary life, while we still have sinister things happening, there is comedy there, and we've really tried to embrace that in this production. So you're gonna get some laughs, you're gonna get some moments that you're freaked out or, you know, uncomfortable, but, you know, we ask you to just sit back and enjoy the ride and see what it has to offer.
Bravo. Thank you. Okay. We're going to come back, get to your headlines here at the top of the next hour.
We got a road rage shooting overnight up next and an update on the victim and what SAPD is saying so far this morning.
All right, and another look at Drive Cam and Alex Gomez. He has stopped for the moment at a particular scene. We're going to find out what's happening here and get you caught up on the traffic with RJ as well coming up at the top of the hour.